Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Snaj V Show. I am Snaj. I am super excited today to share with you probably one of the things that most people do not take the time to listen to, and that is the red flags. Because let's all face the facts, right? No one wants to listen to the red flags because a lot of the time the red flags are the opposite of what we want to hear. And I want to share with you a story, or maybe even a few stories, one in particular. You know, prior to me moving to the US, I had a lot of people asking me the same question, and that was, are you sure you want to go? Are you sure this is right? Do you really think that this is a good move for you? And the reason for that is because there wasn't a lot of safety in the decision. There wasn't a lot of support in the decision. There was a lot of people doing me wrong. And I didn't really see it, and nor did I want to believe it, which is kind of the sad part. But I was young, I was dumb, just like most of us are. And I didn't listen. And because I didn't listen, I ended up in a pretty bad place. And so a lot of the time, you know, we just don't want to listen. So leading up to me leaving, I found myself kind of having conversations with some of the closest people to me, and they would kind of tell me and ask me, you know, like, hey, like this has been happening. I would kind of like, they would retell the story. And as they're telling the story, I am listening going, no, like it didn't happen like that, you know, they didn't mean it like that. And I would kind of find myself almost like telling myself a very different story, which is really sad to think that that's what I believed. But you know what? That's what happens. That's really ultimately whatever story we tell ourselves, if we tell it enough, we believe that it's true. And for me, you know, I was paying attention to what I only kind of knew in my brain, what was kind of the most important. I was ignoring my health, right? I was ignoring my physical health. I was only, you know, probably 3 months out of my ACL reconstruction. And the sad part of that is that I didn't prioritize what the next phase was. And later on, it led me down to some pretty bad compensation patterns because I didn't address certain things that I really needed to address right then and there. And not only that, you know, my nutrition was kind of like just not even addressed at all. Like I was okay, you know, I didn't look bad, but I wasn't aware of what I was eating. I wasn't aware of, you know, how I am today in terms of the balancing of my macros, my body needs to be refueled, what it needs to even be fueled for a workout, nothing like that. I just wasn't addressing it. And the worst one of all is my mental health was slowly declining further and further and further. And I was just refusing to address the signs. Like I didn't want to believe it. The negative self-talk that was going on for me was so high. Then the stories I was telling myself were all pretty bad. And I share this with you because a lot of the time that's what's happening for most of us, but we don't want to believe what's going on because we're too scared. And so although people were telling me, you know, and a lot of things were hurting me, I ignored it. And then obviously, for those of you who know my story, it did kind of put me in a big, dark, deep hole. And then I had to come out of it. And it took me like years, close to years to actually get out of that place. So it's really kind of like one of those things where we do need to address what's going on for ourselves. And I want to kind of share this with you because today I want to encourage you to show yourself the love that you need and show yourself the signs that you need and maybe start listening. Because too often we won't listen. We won't listen to the signs. We won't listen to what's kind of calling out to us. And that's the sad truth. And it's so easy for us not to, because let's be real. It's just, we don't want to believe the story that may actually be real. And a lot of the time we are in it. We're too far in it. We're in a situation where, you know, it's easier to believe that maybe it's not happening the way that everyone else sees it. But from an outsider's perspective, everybody knows. Outsider's perspective is usually what's more than likely right, because they're seeing things from so many different views that they understand it better. And this could go for someone that maybe their health is just not on track. Like they're overweight, they can't keep up with their kids, or they can't keep up with just anyone around them, right? Anyone, because they're out of shape. Their fitness level isn't there, their nutrition's not there, all of this stuff. And then over time, it's just getting worse and worse. And they know it's getting worse because they're seeing themselves in the mirror. They're looking at themselves and they're like, I don't really like it. And then the next day, the same thing happens. I don't really like it. And then the next day, it continues. And that's actually your warning sign. Your warning sign is when you look at yourself, and if you don't like what you see, then that's your point to then go, I need to make a change. Like that's your enough is enough point that you can decide right then and there to change it. But a lot of the time we have to wait till it gets so bad. We have to wait for maybe the doctor to tell us that we need to address our physical health. Or we have to wait till something comes up and we break down mentally, and then we have to deal with our mental health. We have to wait for that. And unfortunately, the more that you do that, the worse that it is for yourself. And so I'm encouraging you now to maybe have a look at the signs. What's been kind of speaking to you that you've been pushing away? What's those signs that has ultimately been asking for your attention and you keep denying it that? Because I will get a lot of people watching the content that I post, listening to it, liking it, reading the emails, whatever it is, they'll like it, they'll embrace it, they think it's great, right? But they're not listening, because some of the people that I know are watching my content or watching what I'm saying and listening, I know for a fact that they're not listening because they've stayed the same. And that's the harsh reality. If you're going to stay the same, even though you're getting all these messages, you are truly not listening. And what's important is I'm going to give you the solutions. I'm going to give you the solutions to majority of the problems that everybody has. And when you have the solutions, it's up to you to listen to the solutions. It's up to you to literally take hold of what's been given to you, because it's probably not just me, and do something with it. Because it is very easy for us to be all talk, no walk, zero action, and then we have an idea. But it's easy to say something. It's way harder to do it. So let's break it down, okay? So in terms of all of these problems that majority of the world face, right? We're going to kind of like tack on just a few here. But one of the things that most people don't realize is that they can take hold of each of these and do something with it. Take care of your nutrition, limit your sugar, and stop putting so much junk into your body. Are you listening? And take care of your fitness. Move your body, strengthen your body, do a workout on a daily basis. Are you listening? And take care of your mental health. Reflect, practice gratitude, journal, start to communicate with people. Are you listening? And I say this because so many people have all of the answers. We are given the answers. We have access to all of these devices, all of these resources so easily in 2023. The answers are there. The people with the experience, with the knowledge, with the understanding and the wisdom are there for you to just basically take hold of. They're all there for you to just go, I am ready. But you always wait until it's too late, or it's almost too late. And then the reversal of all of the bad decisions, bad habits, bad choices that you've made have to then be undone. So rather than waiting for that, let's practice listening to the red flags, listening to the warning signs, because they are tapping at your door. And a lot of the time we don't want to listen to that because it's easier not to. If we avoid, right? If we suppress, then that's probably going to save us a little bit of time for the hard work that needs to be done. And I say that because hard work is something that most people don't want to do. And so when we talk about hard work, we're talking about more than just fitness. We're talking about more than just mentality. We're talking about hard work in every aspect of your life. Hard work is not just I go to the gym and I bust my butt for 1 hour, but then I go and sit down for the rest of the day. That's not what hard work is. That is a conditional hard work. That's 4% of your day you're working hard. But what happens for the rest of the day? Do you work hard at keeping your house clean? Do you work hard at your relationships? Do you work hard at your job? Do you work hard to earn money? Do you work hard in the gym? Do you work hard on your nutrition? Do you work hard on your mental health, your physical health, your financial health? Do you work hard in every aspect of your life, not just one? And again, we don't want to listen to the warning signs. We want to just factor one area of our life and think, no, this is good. This is going to be great. I tell you right now, from all the people that I've come to understand and know, and I have met some very incredible and influential people, I've seen what hard work is and I've seen what hard work isn't. And I clearly know the difference. And I'm very fortunate to know that, you know, my whole upbringing was based around hard work. We didn't have time to slow down and stop and be sad about stuff. It was go, and go harder. And so, yes, that does pose some other issues, but I would prefer to be a hard worker than a lazy person. Because as a hard worker, I'm willing to do the hardest stuff in the world. I am willing to do what all the lazy people aren't. You know, it's like that 1%. I want to be part of the 1% of people that are willing to do the work that the other 99% of people don't want to do. And that's because they're lazy. They don't take initiative. They have no work ethic. The attitude is bad. The effort is bad. And nothing changes for them. And then they become the complainers. While the people who are working hard, they're too busy. They're busy working hard. They're busy with putting all of their talent, their passion, their drive to use. And a lot of the time we don't want to do that. So you have to start to go, I need to listen to the warning signs here. The warning signs are telling me what I need to do. I need to work on my nutrition, my fitness, my mental health. And then I'm going to combine that by understanding that hard work requires you to do as many actionable tasks, as many actionable responsibilities as possible, all at the same time. And if you can do that, then so much will change for you. But you have to dedicate yourself to the process. And you have to know what that looks like for you. You know, do things on purpose and with intentionality, you know, because life is better when you have that. You wake up differently every day when you have that. You go to sleep differently when you have that. And I want to encourage you guys to start listening to the warning signs. What are the red flags that are surrounding you that you are ignoring, that you're blinded by, that you almost colorblind yourself towards these red flags, that you can't see them, you don't take notice of them, and you refuse to believe that they're even there? Because a lot of the time, those red flags are waving straight in front of your face and you are not paying attention. So I hope that's helpful for you. I want you to definitely go and just write some things down. Write down what you feel is going to be a red flag for you that you aren't addressing. And as soon as you bring awareness to it, you're ready. You are ready to take some action because everything starts with awareness. Once we're aware of something, we know that change is coming. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. I'm going to keep this very short, sweet, because I want you guys to go and take some action. Less listening, more action. All right. But you are going to pay attention to what we've just talked about today. I hope today has been helpful for you. Please share it. Please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate your support, guys. And I thank you for taking the time listening to this. And I will see you in the next one. Just remember, you are one decision away from a completely different life.
Add it up, add it up.